Imagine suddenly experiencing a heart attack while you're completely alone. The excruciating pain in your chest feels like your heart might burst, and there's no one around to help. Do you know exactly what to do in those crucial 10 seconds? This may sound like something from a movie, but in reality, it's the daily nightmare for millions of elderly people living alone across Latin America facing the terrifying possibility of a heart attack with no one by their side. Hello, I'm Dr. Esteban Ramirez, 83 years old, and I've been practicing cardiology for over 4 decades. Throughout my career, I've treated more than 60,000 patients with heart conditions. Today, I want to speak to you honestly, as if we were sitting right here in my office. What you're about to hear in this video could literally be the difference between life and death. When you suffer a heart attack alone, your chances of dying are as high as 89%. However, if you know exactly what to do in those first few seconds, your survival chances can jump to 92%. So what's the difference? Knowledge. Lack of information can be deadly, and knowing the right steps can save your life. That's why today I'm going to share everything I've learned over the past 40 years in medicine. A few weeks ago, I received a call at 3 a.m. A woman was crying on the other end of the line. "Doctor, it's a miracle. My father survived. Thank you for teaching him what to do." She was referring to Mr. Jose Mendoza, a 78-year-old patient of mine. He had suffered a heart attack at home all alone. Yet he managed to stay conscious, follow the steps I had taught him months earlier, and made it to the hospital just in time. When I met him again, he said something I'll never forget. "If I hadn't remembered what you told me, doctor, I wouldn't be here today. What saved his life wasn't luck. It was preparation. It was about listening, practicing, and being ready." Today, I want to give you that same opportunity. If you've found this information valuable so far, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. This knowledge could save your life or someone you love. I'm about to share with you the 8 crucial steps to survive a heart attack when you're alone. And I'll do it in simple, direct, and relatable language. Because this isn't something you learn in medical school. It's something that's gained through experience in the emergency room, through the stories of those who've been on the brink of death and made it back. But before I walk you through those 8 steps, there's something very important you need to understand. A heart attack doesn't happen like it does on soap operas. It's not like on TV where the character clutches their chest, screams, and falls to the floor. The reality is much more subtle, confusing, and far more dangerous. The day Mr. Jose had his heart attack, everything seemed perfectly normal. He woke up at 5 a.m. as usual, made his coffee, and sat down to read the newspaper. But then he suddenly felt something strange in his chest. It wasn't a sharp pain, just an uncomfortable pressure, as if something was squeezing his heart from the inside. He thought it was probably just indigestion from having eaten too much the night before. But 10-20 minutes passed and the discomfort didn't go away. In fact, it got worse. Half an hour later, he started to feel numbness in his left arm followed by a dull pain in his jaw. And in that moment, he knew it was a heart attack. That realization made all the difference. Had he told himself it's just stress or age, it'll pass, he probably wouldn't be here today. Statistics don't lie. 80% of the people who suffer a heart attack mistake the symptoms for something else, digestive issues, a cold, or muscle pain. And while they waste precious time, the heart is being damaged more and more with every minute that goes by without proper attention. Now listen closely to this. People over 65 who live alone and are 4 times more likely to die from a heart attack than those who have someone with them. And it's not because their hearts are weaker, but because when they're alone, they often don't know what to do. Or worse, they do nothing at all. But that doesn't have to be your story. Even if you're alone, you can still prepare yourself. Learn what to do and act at the right moment. Mr. Jose didn't save himself by chance. He survived because months earlier, he had attended a talk where I explained exactly what to do if he had a heart attack while alone. And when the time came, he remembered every single step. Instead of panicking, he checked the clock, took a deep breath, and said, "All right, it's time to follow the steps." That's the difference between someone who is prepared and someone who isn't. Prepared individuals stay calm even in the worst of moments because they know exactly what to do, how to do it, and in what order. Those who are unprepared become paralyzed, desperate, and often make decisions that only worsen the situation. And if you have additional risk factors like high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, Or if you're a smoker, the risks are even greater. But here's the most important part. Even if you have all these risk factors stacked against you, if you're prepared, you can survive, and not only survive, but you can do so with the least amount of damage possible. Today, Mr. Jose is fully recovered. He walks again, reads, enjoys his grandchildren, all because he took the time to prepare in advance. You can do it too. In the next part, I'll teach you the 5 most important warning signs your body gives you before a heart attack and how to recognize them before it's too late. The truth is, heart attacks don't usually happen out of nowhere. In most cases, your body gives you warning signs. I want you to pay close attention to these signals. Write them down, share them with others, because if you ever experience them or notice them in someone you love, you'll know exactly what to do. Signal number 1, a sensation of pressure, tightness, or weight in the center of your chest. It's not a sharp pain or burning sensation. It feels like something extremely heavy is crushing your chest, like a rock is sitting in the middle of your body. Some patients have told me, "Doctor, it felt like someone was squeezing my heart from the inside." And here's the important part. This pain or discomfort doesn't just last for a few seconds and disappear. It usually lasts for more than 15 minutes and doesn't improve with typical medications. Signal number 2, radiating pain. It starts in the chest and then spreads to the left arm. Sometimes it affects both arms, the neck, jaw, or even the upper back. In women, jaw pain is particularly common. I've had patients who thought it was a dental issue, and instead of going to the emergency room, they called their dentist. Signal number 3, extreme fatigue with no obvious cause. If one day you feel suddenly exhausted, as though your body just can't keep going, even though you haven't done anything strenuous, this could be a sign that your heart isn't getting enough oxygen. This warning sign is very common in women, and often it goes unnoticed. But if it occurs along with other symptoms, you need to act immediately. Signal number 4, sudden shortness of breath and cold sweats. You're resting, haven't done anything physical, and suddenly you find it hard to breathe and start sweating cold, even if it's cool outside or you're in front of a fan. This is one of the most concerning signs and is often mistaken for an anxiety attack. However, if it occurs alongside chest pressure or radiating pain, it's a clear signal that your heart is in trouble. Signal number 5, dizziness, nausea, or vomiting. If you suddenly feel lightheaded, like you might faint, if you feel nauseous for no reason, or even if you vomit, don't just brush it off as indigestion. Many people reach for antacids thinking it's just a stomach issue, when in reality they could be experiencing the early stages of a heart attack. And here's something crucial: you don't need to experience all 5 signals at once. Just having 2 or 3 is enough to raise suspicion of a heart attack. And if you have additional risk factors like high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, or a history of smoking, even one of these symptoms should prompt you to act immediately. Mr. Jose, the patient I mentioned earlier, recognized 3 of these signals: chest pressure, arm pain, and sudden fatigue. That was enough for him to understand what was happening and take action without wasting any time. Because of that, the damage to his heart was minimal. Today, he still goes for walks every morning and enjoys his grandchildren. And I want you to reach that same point. Now we're going to move on to the most crucial part of this video, the 8 steps you must follow if you're alone and suspect you might be having a heart attack. You don't need to be a doctor. You don't need any specialized equipment. All you need is your memory, calmness, and decisiveness. Because even if you're alone, even if you live far from a hospital, these steps can increase your chances of survival by up to 90%. So pay close attention, stay calm, and most importantly, practice these steps. As you'll see, many of them can and should be practiced before an emergency strikes. We prepare for many things in life, but very few people are prepared to survive a heart attack. That's about to change today. Are you ready? Let's dive into step number 1. As soon as you start feeling symptoms, stop whatever you're doing and sit down in a safe place. Don't keep walking. Don't think it'll just pass. Don't tell yourself, "I'll wait a few more minutes." Just stop. Find a chair or a couch with back support and sit down with your back against it. Avoid lying on the floor. Sitting on the floor can restrict circulation and worsen your condition. Standing is also not ideal. Your top priority is to stay stable and avoid falling. Mr. Jose was about to go for a walk, but as soon as he felt chest pressure, he sat down on the entrance bench with his back supported. Because of that, he didn't collapse or lose consciousness. That first step, though it may seem simple, can save your life. Step number 2, chew an aspirin. If you have aspirin at home, take a 100 ml tablet and chew it immediately. Don't swallow it whole. Chew it well and let it dissolve in your mouth. Why? Because by chewing the aspirin, it gets absorbed much faster, which helps break down the clots blocking your arteries. It's a simple action, but it can reduce heart damage by up to 40%. A great example is Mrs. Teresa Gutierrez, a 76-year-old woman who lives alone. One morning, she started feeling unwell. She remembered our conversation from a health seminar, and although she was nervous, she chewed the aspirin and immediately called for emergency help. When she arrived at the hospital, the doctors told her that thanks to her quick actions, her heart had barely sustained any damage. If you don't have aspirin at home, don't panic. You can move on to the next step. But if you have a history of heart problems, it's essential to always have aspirin on hand, preferably in a visible and easily accessible spot like on top of your refrigerator. And if you're allergic to aspirin or have gastric ulcers, skip the aspirin and go straight to the next step. Step number 3, call emergency services and provide your location clearly. The emergency number can vary depending on the country. For example, in Spanish-speaking countries, it could be 911 or 311. Save it in your phone for quick access. But what's most important is to give your address clearly and completely when you make the call. During a heart attack, you could lose consciousness at any moment. If you haven't already provided your address, emergency responders won't know where to find you. For example, when the call connects, you should say, "My name is Luis Galvez. I'm at 25th Street Road, number 132, apartment 3B, El Robay building. I'm experiencing chest pain and difficulty breathing." After that, calmly answer the operator's questions. Don't hang up, don't exaggerate, but don't downplay your symptoms either. Speak as clearly as you can. Step number 4, open your door and make the key or access code visible. This step is more critical than it may seem. If paramedics arrive and the door is locked, they'll waste valuable time trying to get inside. If your door uses an electronic code, write the code on a large piece of paper and tape it near the entrance. If you use a traditional key, leave it in a visible spot like a flower pot or under the welcome mat. Don't worry about a thief entering at that moment. Your life is far more important than any belongings. Step number 5, position yourself at a 45-degree incline with your legs slightly elevated. Don't lie flat, and don't stay rigid either. The best position is to recline backward at a 45-degree angle, supported by a chair or sofa. If you can elevate your legs slightly on a cushion or pillow. Why this position? Because it helps blood flow to your brain and heart without putting extra strain on your lungs or circulatory system. If you lie down completely, fluid can accumulate in your lungs. And if you sit up too straight, your heart has to work harder. Step number 6, send a brief text message to your family members. Don't make phone calls. At this moment, you should avoid talking on the phone. Speaking requires effort, and that effort can worsen your condition. Instead, send a short, direct text message with only the essential details. Something like, "I'm experiencing heart attack symptoms, called emergency. They're taking me to the hospital." Don't worry, come there. And don't send it to just one person, send it to 2, 3, or more family members. This way you ensure someone will see it, even if one person doesn't respond. Step number 7, breathe deeply. Inhale for 4 seconds, then exhale for 6. Slow, controlled breathing helps reduce the heart's workload, maintains calm, and ensures oxygen flow. Here's how you do it. Inhale through your nose while mentally counting to 4, and exhale slowly through your mouth counting to 6. It's important to breathe from your diaphragm, not just your chest. If you can make a soft sound when exhaling to help keep the breathing controlled. This technique not only calms you down, but it also helps improve circulation and buys you precious time. Step number 8, press the inside of your wrist and cough hard 3 times. This step is little known, but it can be very helpful in a critical moment. Using your thumb press firmly on the inside of your wrist where you can feel your pulse. While doing that, cough hard 3 times in a row. Why does it work? Because coughing creates pressure inside your chest, which stimulates blood flow, and pressing the pulse point can help regulate your heart rhythm. It's not a replacement for medical care, but it's a technique that can help keep you stable for a few more minutes. And those minutes can make the difference between life and death. Mr. Jose followed these 8 steps with precision. He didn't improvise or hesitate. He acted like someone who had prepared. 14 minutes after calling for help, the ambulance arrived. They found him conscious, calm, and in the correct position. Months later, his heart is functioning normally, and his story has already saved others who watch this same video. Now it's your turn. Learn these steps. Write them down and stick them on your fridge if you have to. So far, I've explained how to act if you're alone and suspect you're having a heart attack. But there's something even more important: preparing ahead of time. Because no matter how well you know what to do, the best outcome is that you never have to use it. And that's possible. Throughout my career, I've met hundreds of people, over 80, who have never experienced a heart attack. Do you know what they all had in common? 3 simple habits that anyone can adopt and that reduce the risk of a heart attack by more than 70%. I call them the 3 golden habits. Golden habit number 1, walk 30 minutes every day. You don't need to run or do intense exercise. Just walk for 30 minutes a day. The key isn't how fast you go, but how consistent you are. Let me tell you about Mr. Ernesto Salazar, an 82-year-old man from Tuca in the state of Mexico. For over 25 years, he has woken up at 6 a.m. and gone for a walk in the park. It doesn't matter if it's cold or hot. My body craves it, he tells me. His most recent checkup showed that his heart is functioning like someone who's 60, and his only secret, walking every day. Golden habit number 2, reduce your salt intake to the absolute minimum. Salt is one of the most silent enemies of your heart. It raises blood pressure, hardens arteries, and increases the risk of heart attacks. The problem is most of us consume far more than we need. Avoid processed foods, cold cuts, instant soups, packaged bread, and canned goods. Instead, eat more fruits, vegetables, legumes, and natural foods. Mrs. Rosario, 79 years old, told me that at first it was tough. I thought my food had no flavor, she said. But after a month, my taste changed. Now I can't stand salty food. It makes me thirsty, and I feel sluggish. Since then, her blood pressure has remained stable. Golden habit number 3, quit smoking and drinking, no matter your age. I've heard the same phrase over and over again. Doctor, I'm already 70 years old. Why quit now? And I always answer the same way, because you're still in time to improve your health. Mr. Carlos, 74 years old, quit smoking at 70 after 50 years of doing it. He thought it was pointless, but within 6 months, he was breathing better, sleeping better, and even started climbing stairs again without getting winded. It's never too late. Never. Your body always responds to positive changes. And if you're already taking medication for blood pressure, cholesterol, or diabetes, never stop them on your own. Those medications are protecting your heart. If you feel like you no longer need them, talk to your doctor about it, but never take that risk alone. And please make sure to get a heart checkup at least once a year. An electrocardiogram blood test and a cardiac ultrasound can detect problems before it's too late. Now let's do a quick recap. Let's engrave this in your mind and heart. Here are the 5 warning signs of a heart attack. 1. Pressure or weight in the center of your chest. 2. Pain radiating to the arm, neck, or jaw. 3. Unexplained fatigue. 4. Difficulty breathing and cold sweat. 5. Dizziness, nausea, or vomiting. Now here are the 8 steps to follow if you are alone. 1. Sit down in a safe place. 2. Chew an aspirin. 3. Call emergency services and give your address. 4. Open the door and make your key or access code visible. 5. Recline at a 45-degree angle with your legs slightly elevated. 6. Send a brief message to your family. 7. Breathe in for 4 seconds and exhale for 6 seconds. 8. Press the inside of your wrist and cough 3 times. And finally, the 3 golden habits to prevent heart attacks. Walk 30 minutes every day. 2. Cut down on salt consumption. 3. Quit smoking and drinking. But there's one more thing I want to ask of you. Write these steps down. Stick them on your fridge by your bed or somewhere you'll see them every day. And if you can rehearse them, practice as if you were having a heart attack. Look at the clock. Sit down, breathe, and act. It's not over the top. It's preparation. It's prevention. It's loving your life. And now I want you to do something more. Go to the fridge, grab a piece of paper, and write the following. I am prepared. If a heart attack comes, I won't give up. I know what to do, and I will survive. Read it every day. Make this your promise to yourself, I'll say, because you're not alone and you deserve to live many more years filled with health, joy, and peace. I'm Dr. Esteban Ramirez, and after 40 years of helping thousands of hearts, I can tell you this. You can defeat a heart attack, and today you have taken the first step. If this video helped you, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss life-saving content like this. Share it with your parents, siblings, or friends, and leave me a comment saying, I am prepared. That's not just a comment, it's a promise to yourself and a declaration of life. Take care of yourself, and I truly wish your heart health continues to guide you for many, many more years. Thank you for staying with me until the end, and I'll see you in the next one.